Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal back with another podcast. This time we are in podcast number 12. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Again, this is Mr. Informal. I hope you are all enjoying your day and weekend. And it is October. Man, time goes so fast. But today's topic is actually going to be American Apparel. Their current chief executive has stepped down ever since they released Dove as the owner and all that mess from American Apparel. And Pac-Sun Apparel is going to become private. Ever since they filed for Chapter 11, they have decided to become private because a private equity firm has also purchased them. So that's interesting. Emerging designers. I'm going to talk about emerging designers. This is going to be my opinion, my take, and my analysis with all these new designers, emerging designers, whatever you want to call it. And the last one is hashtags. There are too many hashtags in Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, and all of social media. You gotta calm down with that hashtags, okay? It's unbelievable these days. So yeah, it's just too many hashtags. Well, anyways, let's start it off, okay? American Apparel. So, this is the sources from Apparel News. September 22. I know I'm late on this one, but it's going to be interesting. So, as of September 22, Chief Executive Paula Schneider is exiting American Apparel. Basically, her plan was to turn around the company and make sure that everything is fixed. Ever since, with all the lawsuits and all that mess from the previous company from Dov Charney himself, who was the previous owner of the American Apparel. And due to a lot of sexual harassment cases, the company has, or actually the board members has actually ousted Dov Charney for all his mess and sexual harassments to his employees. But let's talk about American Apparel. So American Apparel is located in 7th and Alameda, Los Angeles, California. They also have a factory store over there, and their factory is also over there too. I'm talking about in factories, cutting, sewers, manufacturing, production, designs, finance, and basically the whole headquarters. The only thing they do not produce is fabric and materials. This means that all their materials are from overseas. It could be China, India, Vietnam, Cambodia, and so on. But mainly overseas. And once they receive fabrics here, they start cutting it, and then they mass produce garments, clothing, shirts, pants, jogging pants, tank tops, anything that you see over there. So, American Apparel basically is going down for sure. And it seems like the new owner or the new chief executive will be, what's her name? Last name is Grayson, Chelsea Grayson, who has been with the company for a long time, to the good times and the bad and the worst times. Basically, as of right now, this is the worst time than American Apparel. But here's the thing, okay, about American Apparel. There was a time when American Apparel was at the top. Not number one, but it could be top 10, top 20. There was a time when they were making $600 million per year due to their marketing, basic designs, the name American Apparel, and that's basically it. The thing that the designs they have are just basic American style clothing. It's just shirts, pants, denim, basically basic, okay? Something easy. And all of their production are in the USA, made in the USA. And again, They are famous for their marketing, their catalogs, and their ads. American Apparel in terms of design is nothing special. It's just basic. There's nothing to gloss over it. Second thing is their marketing is at its best. This is the reason why their marketing gets in trouble, because due to its sexual ad and due to its sexual messages. Not only that, because of Dov Charney, I've heard stories. I mean stories of sexual harassment. And I don't even think it's sexual harassment. We're actually talking about sexual activity here, and it's ridiculous. But going back to the news itself, this is when you know that this company is in trouble. The fact that it only took 2 years for Paula Schneider to take over American Apparel, only 2 years. And what has she done? I have not heard anything that is remarkable about what she did to American Apparel other than ousting Dov himself. Other than that, I did not see any difference on the designs, on the quality, or even on the marketing. Nothing. And it just tells you how certain people out there are not well equipped or do not have the tenacity to become a chief consecutive CEO or CFO or even at the top of the management of a company. Not only that, the person that they're replacing is Chelsea Grayson. I'm not even sure what she can do. Yes, she's been with the company through the good and the bad times, but what vision does she have for a company to suddenly go down? And think about it, the company has hit rock bottom here, and Chelsea Grayson will need to be strong and will need to have a vision to make this company go back up again. That's a hard task, especially when a company has received negative reception on what happened and what is happening right now. You can tell right now that Paula Schneider is just giving weight to Chelsea Grayson. Basically, here, just have had it. I don't care for the work anymore. So we'll see what Chelsea can do. But here's the thing, okay? When Paula Schneider was there, she was trying to work out a deal of selling American Apparel. One, I don't think that's a good idea because you're just gonna take over and sell it. It should be more like, okay, build it back up, and then when it reaches to the highest point, then sell it. Then that's when I can understand it. But for now, if I was running the company, American Apparel should not be selling it. I think it should regroup, have a vision, have a plan, and get back their base customers. That's how you do it. You don't want to just sell it. You want to see if you can accomplish such feats to ensure that you accomplish something within that position. But if they're just willing to sell it, that's them. But what do I think of Paula Schneider stepping down? I think for her time in American Apparel was just a waste of time. I don't see anything that she did. Hopefully Chelsea Grayson can do better. Hopefully. So that's American Apparel for you. So on to the next one. Pac-Sun will become private. So 5 months after filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, Pacific Sunwear California has been acquired by San Francisco private equity investment firm. Source is Apparel News. I'm a fan of Apparel News. That's where I get my fashion, retail, trade shows, manufacturing news from. So basically, they bought out Pac-Sun, and they will make sure that instead of Pac-Sun being public again or in the trading market, it will become privately held. Pac-Sun has done nothing new to itself, has done nothing to refresh, has done nothing to attract new and current customers, or even keep their current customers. What have they done other than board shorts, skating shirts, surfing shirts and shorts, bags for skateboarders, surfers, rollerbladers? I don't even know if there's rollerbladers anymore. Scooter riders, all that stuff. I really don't. They all have the same thing: graphic shirts, graphic shorts, swimming shorts, and I don't know what else to say. But what do I think of the move? I think this is great. I think that they can regroup. They have no pressure from the public. They can also do their own thing because they would not have to be pressured by board members. I mean, there are board members obviously, but not as much if you're in the public market. And since you are privately held, you kind of get a little bit more freedom here. So, sorry about my nose, I'm sniffing here. It's alright. So, one thing that Pac-Sun can do, okay? Obviously, they already filed for Chapter 11. Again, just like American Apparel, regroup, have a vision, have the good designers, have good people, have great employees to work with, great employees with tenacity, attitude, and the motivation to actually make the company be much better than it was. Don't just be graphic shirts or shorts. Have something else. Have some fresh new ideas. Have some young minds here. This is what's missing here in the fashion industry, and I will going to get to that later on. Okay, is that Pac-Sun has multiple competition. Okay, we're talking about Decine, we're talking about Quicksilver, Roxy, we're talking about Fox. Who else? Any type of surfing or any brands that sells in Hawaii, basically. And also another thing is that they also need to fix their retail shops. Retail shops, there's just too much crap. They need to make their retail become an experience type retail store. And again, I'm going to repeat this again. Have a vision of what you want to sell to the consumer. Have a vision of what you can create and produce. The thing about Pac-Sun is it just caters to age group of 14 to 30, or it could be 35. Those age group are near the ocean or are inland in terms of skateboarding, any type of boarding, scenery, skates, surfing, beach, relax, sunset, the sun obviously, and the ocean. They can also cater to those who are mature and yet still kind of want that feeling. They don't always have to make graphic shirts. They can make quality goods, and it's possible. Not only that, they make a lot of bags, they make a lot of accessories. How about make quality goods? Introduce yourself, to the market, stating that here's what we can do, and here's some fresh new ideas, and check it out. Come to a retail store. Our retail store have employees that are experienced, can assist you with certain accessories, certain items that we sell and that we provide, and these are the capabilities of the items that we provide. If you do that, more people will come in. Not only that, if you're willing to have other type brands like headphones, accessories, electronics, have great people who have a vision, are knowledgeable about certain items, what can go with what. Here's an example. If you are selling a bag, in this day and age, people love technology. Have a pocket in the bag for headphones, for sunglasses, for phones, for chargers, for cables. Certain things like that. Those things matter because it shows that you care about certain things and you can adapt to the current scenery. So, I know I've talked too long about certain things, but it is interesting that Pac-Sun is now privately held by a San Francisco investment firm. We'll see what they can do. Now, as I said in my Pac-Sun about designers and new designs, let me talk about the third topic, which are emerging designers, or which is emerging designers and new designers out there. I've noticed time and time again, these so-called new designers always telling the market or the consumers fresh new designs. It's new, it's never been done before, it's unique, it's original, blah 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 blah. I don't believe that, because there's not a lot of new designers these days. As I said before, these so-called new designers are just stylists. They just change the fit, they just add pockets, change the color, and then boom, it's a new design. It's unbelievable these days. I cannot believe why these so-called designers calling themselves that. Let's be real. You know who I consider designers? Raf Simons. Who else? Yoji Yamamoto, Izzy Miyake. What's his name? I forgot his name. Rick Owens. There you go. Rick Owens. Oh, and Jeremy Scott, as I previously said from my previous podcast. Look, if you're gonna be a designer, or wish to be, or dream to be a designer, sketch out something new, something that's never been done before. I will give you an example. I cannot remember the timeline. It was either 1960s or 1970s when Yves Saint Laurent created a tuxedo dress for women. A dress that is inspired by the men's tuxedo, designed for women. And if you look that up, it's actually original, unique. It's fresh, and something that never been done before. That's a great example. But today's day and age, it doesn't matter if people say it's been done, I've seen it. I don't think anything can be brought to something new to the world. I don't believe that. As long as there are minds that have imagination, that are limitless, anything is possible. If you just put your mind into it, if you can think, if you believe that you can create something new, I think it can be done. I'll give you an example. When Jeremy Scott was designing a purse, you know what he did? You know what? Let me take the biker leather jacket and let me put it in a purse. And he did it. And again, that's something new, that's something fresh. Even though the inspiration is not new, but the purse itself or the bag itself is new. It was original, it was unique. And that is exactly what I mean. And again, all these so-called new designers, if you look at GQ new top 10 menswear, or top 5 menswear, or even Cosmopolitan, or even Bazaar, all these so-called new designers, I look at the collection and I tell to myself, it's either good or bad. If it's bad, then you know they're not good. And if it's good, then you know they will be great someday. And for those who are listening that to wish to become a designer, if you want to start out basic, that's fine. If you want to start out something that's been done before, that's fine. But when you do establish yourself and you have a consumer base, then you should start creating something new and fresh. If you have a customer base, they will always be there to support you, whether it could be good or bad. But hopefully your designers are good. Bad designs are never ever good, okay? But sometimes they are. You just never know. Sometimes the consumers have this way of thinking that just when you think your design sucks, they somehow love it. I don't know why. I really don't. Now on to our last topic, which is hashtags. There are too many of them. I've noticed in Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Vine, YouTube, you have 20 or more different type of hashtag. Is that needed, people? Is that really needed to have so much hashtag? Hashtag podcast, hashtag American Apparel, hashtag apparel, hashtag Pac-Sun, so and so and so. I would never do that. I mean, the most I can think of a hashtag is maybe 5 or 6. But other than that, I don't know why. I've noticed in Twitter that people have over 20 different hashtags. Yes, I get it if you want to tag certain things for tag purposes to get people's attention. I get that. But is it really needed when you're just posting something normal and you have 30 different hashtags? Really? I don't think so. I think when people say that less is more, this should be the case. If you are that good, if you are that compelling, and if you just want something simple, you don't need to create a hashtag. Take, for example, debate in our presidential debates and election. Let's say I was voting for, let's say, Donald Trump won the second debate. Let's just say. My hashtag would be Donald Trump, second debate, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump won, and election. That would be it. Now you can put presidential, TV, ABC, CBS, NBC, and so, but it doesn't really matter because you just want to get to the bottom line. You just want to get to the point. The worst hashtags are the sports hashtag. You gotta add different kinds of things here. You got the broadcasting, you got certain people, you got players, you got venues, you got the location, you got something to talk about. It's like on and on and on. I'm sure there are worst. I actually no. I think the worst ones as of right now is the police brutality. But that's another case. That's another situation here. But for all of those people who are putting too much hashtag, you gotta, calm it down. Again, less is more. If you want to get to the bottom line, pick a hashtag that you would think just sets the tone, or just says the word, or just says, that represent the statement that you're trying to make here. That way, people get it, and that way it's not just a long Twitter or long sentences here. People know what you're talking about. Alright? Now, after all of that, hopefully you got some insights, and also I'm glad that you are listening to this podcast number 12. That concludes podcast number 12. Again, this is Mr. Informal, and I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.